ixesha liyahamba sisayosebenza. Awufuka ulale, fuka mntakwethu, awufuka ulale, ixesha liyahamba sisayosebenza. ixesha liyahamba, sisayosebenza. Awuvuka, vuka, awuvuka ulale, vuka mntakwethu, awuvuka ulale, ixesha liyahamba, sisayosebenza. Together we can fight and build this academy till it's better. Vukani, Shabu Yawela. Together we can fight and build this academy till it's better. Oh yeah. siyayosebenza. Awufuka, fuka, awufukulale, fuka mntakwethu, awufukulale, ixesha liyahamba, sisayosebenza.
All right, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the FNB App Academy 2025. I am your host. My name is Karabo Mohole. All right, so the previous session was so amazing, right? We had an amazing recap with Nolutando and Talaha, primarily focusing on the advanced phase. And today we have a very special additional episode, episode 19, with Given Siagati, the consumer educator at FNB. She will be taking us through the importance on financial literacy. It's always amazing to see what you guys have been up to on your social media spaces. Please do keep those videos coming. Don't forget to hashtag FNB App Academy. All right, so speaking about social media, let us see what you guys have been up to on social media this week. All right, awesome. It's always amazing to see those videos. Please do keep them coming on social media. All right, so now let us head over to meet Given, who will be informing us on the importance of financial literacy. All right, welcome everybody. I'm literally right here in studio, joined by a very special guest. I've had her in studio for an amazing conversation before, all about financial literacy. I'm joined by Given Siakatsi, the consumer educator at FNB. Mom Given, how are you?
Good afternoon, Karabo. It's so good to see you again.
It's always amazing to have you right here in studio. You are extraordinary. Thank you for coming back. First and foremost, Mama, let's let the app developers know, who is Given Siakatsi?
Given Siakatsi is a consumer educator for Gauteng in the Free State. Her job, her love, her passion is to go to different companies, different communities, different schools. We start them early till varsities or colleges.
Beautiful.
And all I do is to talk about finances, personal finances.
That was amazing to talk about the power of money. Right here, I'm joined by Given Siakatsi. Mom Given, over to you, taking you guys through financial literacy.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's so great to be back. And today we're going to talk about financial literacy. Just to dive in, much as I work for FNB, my job is to upskill you, my job is to educate you, my job is to change your mindset. So I don't open accounts, I don't sell FNB. I'm here to educate you and to change your behavior regarding personal finances. Now, yes, like I explained last week, we have 5 themes that we discuss or that we take you through on financial literacy. The first one being understanding my money. Remember, we shared the needs and wants, and today we're going to teach you how to budget the practical way. The second theme, that's growing my money. where we're going to talk about savings. I'm not going to take you through everything on savings, but share 1 or 2 points on savings. And at some point later, I hope I get to see you again, where we'll unpack managing debt, and I hope you don't get over indebted when you're out there. And then there's protecting the things that matters, where we talk about short-term insurances and long-term insurances. And lastly, leaving a legacy. On leaving a legacy, we're talking about retirement. At some point, you will be retiring and you need to start early, you know. You don't wait until you're 50 for you to think about retirement. And lastly, we'll talk about the wills. You will be accumulating assets out there, you know. So make sure that you have a will so that the right people will definitely get whatever you have left for them. Now, let's go on the next slide. Understanding my money. What we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on needs and wants, what goes into a budget, how to create and complete a budget. We're going to talk about unplanned expenses because they do happen, right? And then how to stick to a budget. We're going to have a slide or two on digital banking and the winning habits out there. The last one that would be a slide or two on savings. Now, introduction to budgeting. We really need to know what are needs and wants, right? So what is a need and what is a want? Let's look at the different cards here. The first one being luxury groceries. What are luxury groceries? For you, is it a need or is it a want, right? And let me take you back. What is a basic groceries? Right? Then you can think about luxury groceries. Those lovely items that you pick up when you do your, when you went shopping for only bread and milk, and you end up bringing home chocolates and sweets and biltongs and those lovely things, right? Those are luxury groceries. And stokvel contributions. What is stokvel contribution? It is actually the informal way of savings, but you have to make sure that you are with the people that have integrity in a stokvel. When December arrives and people have to share, then that person, the main person, is nowhere to be found. We've got this part of transportation and everything. Make sure that definitely it's a need. And we have to make sure that we have money saved up or money put aside for transportation, especially when you're going to go to different projects, right? And then beer. You know, that moment where you say, can I have just one beer or a glass of wine at the end of the day? You know, people don't know when to draw a line between having a glass of wine. It ends up being a bottle of wine. Or it might be a bottle of beer, it ends up being 6 beers. Where do you draw the line? And then having to to pay a bond or renting a property. That's definitely a need. I don't have a problem if you want to rent a property, but don't rent forever. Remember, you will be paying somebody's property. So rent with the intention of having to buy your own property. So we'll jump on to the last card of savings. We know that savings is a need, right? And remember that moment, I know you're young, but that moment in December the 31st, where you sit back and at 12 o'clock at night, you go into your own respective corner, right? And you decide that, you know what, this is it, and next year I'm going to make a difference, and I'm going to make it happen, I'm going to start saving. Do we really ever save? Or now, when it comes to January, you're still recovering, and February, you recover some more from December and January. Come March and April, there's Easter period. May, you recover. June, it's youth month. July, we recover. August, that's women's month. September, we recover. And then we enter onto the 5 months of entertainment. September, October, November, December, January, right? So don't wait for December, as I'm going to talk to you right now. The journey begins now, the journey begins today. So, needs and wants differs from a person to a person. We have needs for shelter, electricity, basic groceries, and everyday clothes. We have wants like sweets, going on holidays, having to pay for DSTVs and some subscriptions, and then expensive clothing. I don't have a problem again when you can afford to buy your wants, but I have a serious concern when you make those wants your needs. Now, like I said, needs and wants differs from a person to a person. There's a thin line there, right, called discipline, that you need to make sure that you know what your needs are. You need to know what your wants are. You need to write them down. You interrogate the list, and you make sure you know where what belongs to you. Then you can be able to talk about budgeting. Now, what is this budget? We use the word budgeting loosely, but do we really budget? Now, a budget is a plan for what you are going to do with your money. Let me give you a practical example. I say to you, I nominate you, and I say to you, Karabo, in this case, can we meet here? I'm going to give you 5,000 rands. What Karabo needs to say actually is given, why me? Why the 5,000 rands? But because Karabo doesn't have money at the moment and all that, he's going to go out and borrow 5,000 rands with the hope that Given is going to give him the 5,000 rands next week, Friday. Now, on Thursday, I give Karabo a call. And you know any conversation that starts with Ish, you know it's about to go down, right? So here I go, Ish, Karabo, Ish, I won't be able to. Before he even listens to what I'm going to say, he takes over the conversation. No Given. You can e-wallet the money, you can transfer the money. He gives me all these options under the sun. I say, no, I don't have the money. I don't have the 5,000 rands. What he has done, he has accumulated the 5,000 rands in his budget, right, that he doesn't have. Now, budgeting has a language. It says, I don't work on hope. I hope, like Karabo in this case, I hope Given is going to give me 5,000 rands. Budgeting says, no, I work on reality. You wait for me to come through, and I give you the 5,000 rands, or I transfer money into your account, then you start planning. The benefits of a budget. You will be in control of your money, meaning you claim your independence. You're not spending what you don't have. Also, you have a clear view of where your income is coming from and where you're going to spend it. And then you save for the things that are important to you. You know how much you owe, who you owe, and the interest that they're charging you. You are able to prioritize what comes first and what's going to come last. You get a clear view of what you're going to spend your money on each and every month without fail. And then you can be able to cut down, you can be able to downgrade, you can be able to set limits on your expenses. And lastly, you can be able to organize your spending and your savings. Now, what do this mean? What goes into a budget? What does it mean, right? We're talking about income and expenses. Income is the money that you get on a regular basis, like having to get paid a salary, having a side hustle, having maybe rental money, and so forth. And then on the other hand, we're having expenses, right? Expenses are the things that you spend your money on every month without fail. Expenses are the things that you spend your money on every month. Now, there's two types of expenses. We've got the rental money that you pay, that you paying every month. There's the food that you're buying, and there's a transport that you pay for every month. Now, I wanted to say there's two types of expenses. There's the fixed expenses and there's the variable expenses. With the fixed expenses, we're talking about rental money, we're talking about insurance money, we're talking about school fees. And on the other hand, we've got the variable expenses, where we've got the muscle, where we've got the power to say, I'm not going to entertain myself. I'm not going to go to that all-white party. I'm not going to buy that airtime and data. I'm not going to pay for the gym membership. I'm not going to pay for the Showmax and the Netflix, right? You've got the power to say no. This is where you exercise your no, actually. Now, the steps are to complete a budget. Here I've got a budgeting template. Now, normally when we ask people, what is the first transaction or your first expense? People will say food or groceries. They will say rental money, paying for rent, you know. But your first expense actually is savings. Let me take you back on this beautiful template. The first expense is your income, right? The money that you're receiving. You calculate that, and if you're staying with your family, you calculate every contribution that the family members are doing. Followed by what? Your first expense being savings. Followed by what? Fixed expenses. I've explained the fixed expenses. Followed then by the variable expenses. Now, when we talk about savings, let it not be the once-off amount that goes out, right? Each time you receive 50 rands, each time you receive 100 rands, maybe in the week, and then the following week you're expecting 500 rands, month end you're expecting a lump sum, make sure that you take 10% of that or whatever you can be able to afford into your savings account. Now, as soon as you have calculated your amounts, you take your income minus all the expenses, right? That will give you the total. Now, it's either you're going to end up with a surplus, right? Meaning a plus, or a deficit, meaning a minus. Now, what do you need to do if there is a negative balance, right? Normally, we go out and we borrow money. Wrong. What really needs to happen is to revisit your budget and make sure that you do the right things, right? You make sure that you talk to your budget, you cut down, like I've explained earlier on, you downgrade and you set limits on some items. Now, it's important again that you track your expenses. Why is it important? You'll know what needs to be paid first, right? Secondly, you understand where you can cut down, where you can downgrade as well. You'll be able to manage your debt beautifully so, and ultimately you are able to save. Now, something that you need to note when you do your budget. Budget says, I don't need 3 minutes of your time. I need at least an hour or 2 hours every month without fail, right? And then bring your banking app. All these are financial institutions that they have in banking apps. Please download your banking app and utilize that. Secondly, budgeting says, bring on board your bank statements. Now, when last did you check your bank statement? Your bank statement says a lot about you. It tells you about your behavior. When you look at it, are you falling short every month, or you right there, or maybe you left with a surplus? What type of behavior does it tell you? The banking app tells you again whether you correctly banked, meaning you are on the right account or you are on the wrong account. And this is where now you have to go to the bank and make sure that you speak to a consultant to help you out to be banked correctly. Your bank statement tells you about the fees. You can question yourself, 3 months ago, my fees were 300 rands. Last month, they were 500 rands. This month, I don't know how much they're going to be. So your bank statement will tell you, again, if you are on the right account and your fees are what you're supposed to be paying. Are you transferring money properly? Again, are you utilizing the right ATM, your bank's ATM, instead of having to go to other banks' ATM and you get charged the switch fees? What type of a transactor are you? Do you have returned debits? Do you really know what you're paying for? So your bank account will tell you all that information so that you can be able to address them and know that you are correctly banked. We'll appreciate it again when you say, now I'm working, and now you will be freelancing maybe, or you will be employed at some point. You will be receiving a pay slip. What does your pay slip say about you? You will be having the HR person out there. Ask them about the benefits that you're getting, right? And always, when you do your budget, just interrogate your pay slip as well. Some of you will be getting allowances, so some of you will be getting stipends. Note that when you do your budget. Calculate them, because that's money that you will be receiving. Ultimately, budgeting says, look at your receipts and keep them until you're satisfied, until you are okay with the items that you have bought. Now, there's what you call the unplanned expenses or unplanned events that might happen, right? Have you ever experienced any of these unplanned expenses? Let's share some of those. When an unexpected guest arrives and to stay at your house, right? And as a result, the food bill increases by 300 rands. What do you then do? It's the money that you don't have, the 300 rands that you don't have. Secondly, you go home and you want to prepare yourself dinner on this cold weather. The stove says, no, I'm not going to work. You turn around, the fridge is leaking and it says, I'm not working as well. Or a relative dies and, we contribute and they need 500 rands from your family. What do you then do? As if that is not enough, you draw 400 rands from an ATM to buy groceries and you drop the 400 rands. It's like that grey cloud hovering above your head. Or there has been a petrol price increase. As a result, your transportation increases by 800 rands or that 400 rands. You bought a monthly bus coupon. However, 1 week into the new month, there is a bus strike and you need the daily taxi fare whilst the buses are on strike. Those are unplanned events. And remember, with these kind of unplanned events, they don't just knock and say, wait for me, I will be coming to visit you next month. They just rock up. So this is why we need to budget for the unplanned expenses. When they do happen, right, we are in a position to take care of them. What are some of the habits that do you do that stop you from sticking to a budget? Habits like having to go out every Thursdays, Fridays, Saturday, Sunday. Habits like smoking. Habits like having gym memberships that you don't even go to or you don't utilize. Those are some habits that you need to change for you to be able to be on track and to budget properly. Now, sharing with you tips for sticking to a budget. Budget every month without fail. Don't start and stop. Keep your budget close and up to date by tracking your expenses, like I've explained, looking at your banking statement and looking at your charges, looking at the transactions that you're making and all that. And pay all of your accounts on time to run away from the interest. Be a smart spender and also be disciplined and keep a positive mindset. Remember, Rome was not built in one day. So be patient with yourself. Make sure that every month without fail, you sit and you give budgeting your best attention. Now, as soon as you're comfortable with doing your budget and everything, there's winning habits that you need to tick. There's about 6 of them that you need, the 6 boxes that you need to tick. The first winning habit is I plan how I'm going to use my money or use my income by doing a budget every month. See, it's all about planning. Tick. The second winning habit, I make savings a part of my monthly budget and I'm disciplined about it. Tick. I understand my needs and wants and I can budget better. Back to needs and wants. Remember, the building blocks, we're saying we start with the needs and wants, then we can be able to budget. So here we go. I understand my needs and wants and I can budget better. Tick. Another winning habit, I pay a little bit extra if I can afford to reduce my debt quickly. Now on this one, what happens when we do our budget? We always say, I've paid my expenses, I've even saved, so I can entertain myself. Wrong. The best way is to look at the accounts that you have and pay an extra to run away from the interest or finish paying off the debt quickly. Another winning habit, I save my money in a savings account where it can grow with interest, right? And the last winning habit, only take out credit if you really have to and you can afford to pay it back. Now let me give you an example on this one. Here you are, you go to buy something and the creditor say, oh, that item say it's 2,000 rands. And the creditor comes back, says, congratulations, you've got 10,000 rands limit. Why do you then take the 10,000 rands limit? Because rightfully, you're going to pay the 2,000 rands, right, without fail. That's what you wanted. But the 8,000 rands, you're going to squander because there was no need for you to have that 8,000 rands. Also, you might go to the ATM to draw 100 rands, and the ATM screen entices you. Congratulations, you qualify for this much loan. You're not there to qualify to apply for a loan. You're there to draw money. So be disciplined and stay disciplined when coming to your personal finances. 2 things that you need to take away from this budgeting conversation. Always a budget for your needs first, and always include savings in your monthly budget. Now, let's go on to our next topic, understanding my money through banking digitally. We've got options for everything. Options for transportation, where before we used to utilize only taxis and buses. Now we've got e-hailing. We now communicate in a different way. We've got cell phones, so we've got WhatsApp, where you can send the message real time, and you can be able to pick up whether somebody has read the message immediately. We've got now how we bank, right? We're walking around with the banks in our pocket, meaning our cell phones. Now, the benefits of banking digitally. We can be able to view account balances and transfer between accounts. We can buy prepaid electricity, airtime and SMSs. We can be able to do cardless services and cashless services. We can be able to pay accounts, people or companies that we owe. We can be able to send money to friends and family that don't have bank accounts as well, right? Now, never ever share your PIN or password with anyone. Always log out when you're using digital banking. Let me share with you the benefits of banking digitally. We can view your accounts. You can be able to buy prepaid electricity. You can do cardless services and cashless services. You can pay accounts, people or companies that you owe. You can be able to send money to friends and family members that don't have bank accounts as well. Now, talking about risk when using digital banking and the things that you can be able to protect yourselves from those risks. Protect your device. Always set a password on your device. Protect your internet connection and protect your information all the time. We have scammers out there, and we know that they do not rest, right? We need to make sure that we protect ourselves all the time. Having to say that, let's now think about what do we do? Back to budgeting. What do we then do with the money that we have as a surplus? Do we squander that? What do you really do with it? Let's talk about savings. Savings is when you don't spend all of the money that you have so that you can put some of it safely away to use later in case of emergencies that we spoke about, or unplanned expenses, or until you have enough to buy something you can't afford to pay now. We have 3 baskets of savings: short-term, medium-term, and long-term. Short-term, it might be having to save for emergencies. Medium-term, it might be having to buy equipment for your business that you're going to start. It might be having to further your studies as well. And then long-term definitely is having to plan for retirement. Long-term is definitely having to save up for that property that you're going to buy at some point. Why savings is important? It is important because you can cover for emergencies or other unplanned expenses when they do arise. You can be able to avoid debt or unnecessary borrowing. You can be able to pay for bigger purchases like furniture or that fridge that you have been eyeing. You can be able to buy things for cash rather than on credit, and ultimately you can reach your financial goals. Now let's look at this clip.
You need to keep building your savings because emergencies happen, even in circumstances like this. Save by taking money you won't be spending on items like transport and put it in a separate savings account with access to your money, but that earns interest. Savings mean financial safety.
beautiful. So how do we then get started on savings? I'm going to share with you what the South African Savings Institute say about savings. Let me offer you the tips on how to start saving. The first tip is keep a budget and stick to it. The second tip is changing your bad spending habits. Let's make an example. If you're buying coffee that costs 20 rands, how much is it in 7 days, in a month, in 12 months' time, in 5 years' time? Shocking, right? Is it that kind of amount that you have in a savings account? See, we all have weaknesses. Speak to your weakness. Mr. or Miss Weakness, I'm not going to entertain you on a day-to-day basis. I'll have coffee from home in the morning, Monday to Fridays. And on Saturday, I'll just thank myself and buy myself that cup of coffee. Now, with the amount that you're not utilizing on that bad spending habit, don't squander that. Don't have reasons to start another bad habit. Put that in a savings account. Open a savings account and make sure that you inject that money into that account and watch it grow. The second tip is shop for low prices. And when you shop for low prices, pay cash and you can always ask for discounts. Cut down on wants. Look at your budgeting statement. Cutting down on entertainment, cutting down or setting limits on your airtime and data. Write down the entertainment that you're going to do for the month and all that and stick to them. And if your budget doesn't allow, just drop them. And having to think about hair and nails, right? We don't have to do our nails, hair and nails all the time, but when we go to maybe important events and all that, then you can just spoil yourself, you know. And the DSTV, you can just cancel the DSTV for as long as your budget doesn't allow you to pay DSTV. And then maybe when you get, or you can even downgrade, they allow you to downgrade now lately, and then at some point you'll be able to afford to pay the DSTV. Also reduce usage on variable expenses, where you've got the power. Where you've got the power to say, no, I'm not going to entertain these items. Grow your own vegetables or grow your own herbs. And one will say, but given I'm young, I don't have time for that. But you know, I love chili. And one thing that I've realized that, you know, instead of having to go and buy chili, rather have to grow my own and make my own chili sauces. You know, I don't know what your passion is, but make sure that you do something about it. Grow your own vegetables or grow your own herbs. If you do have green hands, like I do, I grow my own chilies and I make my own sauces. And there's a couple of people that I sell this chili to. So you can just do the same, right? And then recycle. Recycling. How many clothes do you have that you're not wearing at the moment? Or you haven't worn in the past 3 years, 2 years? You know, if you've got a group of friends, one Saturday, just get together, bring your old clothes, bring your belts, bring your jewelry, shoes, you name it, whatever you're not wearing anymore, all right? Then you can swap. The benefits of having to recycle is that you won't have the edge to buy new clothes ever again because you know that you're swapping clothes with your dear friends. Now, moving on. 7 steps to savings. Decide on a savings goal and make a plan. What is it that you want to buy for yourself? right? What are you saving for? Because definitely the money that's lying around will definitely grow feet. So make sure that you save for a goal. The second part is calculate your monthly savings goal amount. Control spending by reducing expenditure on wants back to budgeting. Redirect the freed up cash towards your savings goal. Save in a bank account to earn interest. Don't let the money lie around. And save every month without fail. Not forgetting to be disciplined about it. Making your money stretch further. Pay off your high interest debt first. Get a second job if you can. Reduce your spending back to budgeting. Can you see how budgeting keeps on coming back? Reduce your spending and ultimately start a side business. Don't rely only on one salary. Make sure that you have multiple streams of income so that you can be able to live financially well. Let's look at this video.
Hey, wena kuntwana ndini cabanga ukuthi ndingugogo nyani.
Gogo ukuthi nje my cat gogo I'm out of sugar ukuthi bengithi nje angizoboleka ushukela.
Biyakhe, I don't mind helping my neighbors. Kodwa wena ulapha every day.
Hey, Baba, it's only borrowing if you are gonna bring it back. How much, Lo? Lo, this is shopping to him. Hey, time, man, you have a girlfriend. What's the
Girlfriends? Oh, boy, I have an invitation to protect. Seriously? Gogo, times are hard. A man's gotta do what a man must do what a man. My point is that times are hard. And when I see not all of us have a fancy job like you.
You take on nama.
Gogo, and what's wrong now?
Hey, it's my back, mntanam.
Gogo, please, don't tell me what you're still sleeping. Put that lumpy mattress out on 1987.
I've got much more urgent things to spend my money on when I'm Biyakhe. Anamali bendithenga mattress mna.
Ay, man, but Gogo, when did you get this mattress?
No, 1987, done.
It was one of the first things I bought was my own money.
Even more reason to get a new one, eh?
Sizwe mntanam, my pension is never enough.
Gogo, if you had saved enough money, you'd have a new mattress by now. Remember, you are the one who told me to save for a townhouse.
That's if you Gogo only extra cash.
Gogo, a wise old woman once told me, start small. Little by little makes a lot.
Who are you calling old when?
Sorry, man, Gogo. But if you save 10 rand every week, you'll have 520 in a year.
Then I must have a tree at my backyard that grows 10 rand every day.
Gogo, mtell, people like me, no Gogo, we sort of 10 rand every week. It's not like we have 10 rand, DJ, and a pass matrasi. No offense, Gogo, that it's waiting for us to save, you know my name.
If we cut on a few things, we'll have extra cash, mas.
Unyanisile, we can just borrow from all our neighbors, just like Biyakhe.
That's a good idea, Ndanga.
Actually, I have a few ideas. How about we cut back on luxuries like takeaways, Gogo?
You know, Sister Wako, she spends a lot of my money on ezikota ezi. If she can come home in the afternoons and cook for herself, I could save a lot of money, you know?
Oh, there you go, Gogo. Plus, you can start your own veggie garden. Hey, Gogo, you've got those green fingers, eh?
Hey, Unyanisile, you know, the vegetables are so expensive these days.
No, there you go. And you can cut back on a lot more things if you keep thinking.
If we put all those pennies together, we could save a lot of money.
Aye. Hi, Gogo. That's a good idea, hey? Boy, don't. Uchikukule blend.
Hey, boy, a wise old woman.
Yeah, ne. Wise old lady, ne?
Oh, Lizzy, 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 umhle wena, njenge bonga bantu, ebakhala
Hey, Coco.
ngawe. Molo Sizwe, come in. Breakfast is on the table, mntanami. Kukhona amaqanda namhlanje.
Hey, who's this person or what have you done with my Coco?
What do you mean? I've taken your advice and I've saved all my money. And you know, when you save, you earn money. Your money just grows and grows.
Oh, so that's why you happy with my savings, no, Coco?
No. I had the best night's sleep ever.
Oh, Coco, you finally bought a new mattress.
Yes, it's the best advice you've ever given me, mntanam. Oh, Lizzy, 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 umhle wena, njenge bonga bantu, afana nawe, wenungo. Hey, come, let's go and have some breakfast, mntanam.
Hey, I'm gonna regret this one.
That is a wise Gogo. You might be asking me where to grow your money, right? So before, you need to think about a couple of things before choosing a bank account. Think about the access, how easy it is to get your money when you need it. Think about the convenience and ease of use. Do you understand the product that you have chosen? Also think about the safety and the interest that you're going to earn. Shop around. Now, there's a different types of savings products out there. We've got the call account. That's a simple account that you can be able to utilize as an emergency account, right? You deposit the money, you draw the money is safe at the bank. It doesn't have that much interest though, right? The second one is the notice deposit account, where you have to give your bank 32 days notice before they release the money. The next one, on the notice deposit account, if, say you have an emergency and you want your money immediately without the given the notice, they're going to charge you a penalty fee. And you might find that the penalty fee is more than the interest that you have earned. So make sure that when you have emergencies, you've got the call account where you have saved a little bit for your emergencies, and a notice deposit account that would be definitely for other projects, and you have to give the notice before the bank releases the money. Then we have the fixed deposit account. With a fixed deposit account, the money is locked away. You won't see your money up until it has matured, right? It's got beautiful interest. You need to shop around for the financial institution that will give you the best interest on this one. And then lastly, we've got the tax-free savings account. This is where SARS says that they're not going to charge you any tax when you have this beautiful account. There are rules involved on this account. You can deposit 36,000 rands in a month or every month, or 500,000 rands in your entire lifespan. Now, SARS says if you go over the stipulated limits, they're going to charge you 40% interest. So you better make sure that you stay within the limits. You can also grow your money through the informal savings, right? We spoke about stokvels earlier on, right, when we did the needs and wants. So when you need to open a stokvel account, I think things that you need to think about, adding on what we spoke about earlier on. Always choose the members that you can be able to trust. Remember earlier on I said members that have integrity. Right? And be clear on the goals of the stokvel. What is the objective of the stokvel? And then you need to come up with the rules together, right? Decide how often the group should have meetings and you adhere to that if you are the member, and decide where and how the money will be kept safe. People start stokvels for different reasons. It's either for holiday purposes, or they plan to pay for their children's school fees or for their education. It can be for groceries at the end of the year, so their reasons might be different. You know, years ago, this industry used to be for funeral covers only, but it has turned into a multi-billion rand kind of industry where people are buying shares, people are buying properties through stokvels. So definitely make sure that when you get it to a stock, when you join a stokvel, it will be with the people that have integrity. They have a bank account and the signatories as well managing that bank account. All right. Now, on to investments. There's different types of investments that you can be able to utilize out there. The first one is you can invest in cash, you can invest in property, you can invest because property appreciates in value, you can invest in shares, you can invest in life assurance policies, also you can be able to start your own business. Now, savings products and investment products can be confusing. So make sure that you utilize the service of a financial advisor or a financial planner. What's the difference between the two? With a financial advisor, they sit at your branch within your bank, and they advise you on the products that they can be able to offer you within that financial industry. They do not charge at all. Their services are free of charge. Their job is to walk the journey with you, right? So you make sure that you utilize their services, and you know that each time there's something that has changed, you've got another job, you want to buy a car, you want to buy a property, there's a child that you are expecting and all that, notify them so that they can be able to make sure that they give you they offer the right products so that you can be able to benefit from. Now, the financial planner, on the other hand, they charge you a fee because they will be managing your portfolio. But your best bet right now, that's having to utilize the financial advisor. This is where we end our conversation today. I need us to reflect a bit on what we spoke about. We spoke about needs and wants that differs from a person to a person. Remember, what is a need to you might be a want to me. There's that line that I spoke about, that line being having to be disciplined when you draw up your needs and wants, and having to stay focused. We then jumped on to budgeting. We said budgeting is a plan for what you are going to do with your money. Budgeting works on reality. It works on what you have on your hand, or what you have in your pocket, or what you have in your bank account. The third part, we spoke about digital banking. Make sure that you utilize your digital banking and you know exactly what is going on with that. Talking about the banking apps out there. Things are changing. We're moving very fast, and you know that. The last part, we touched on savings, and we said we're not saving for the sake of saving. We're saving so that when the unexpected happens, when those unplanned events happen, we are cushioned to take care of them. We're not going to run to Abomashonisa or the loan sharks. We're not going to borrow unnecessarily because we have done the right things through savings. I wish you well in your financial journey, and I hope to see you soon. All the best. Goodbye.
Woo! All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Given Siagatie, for that extraordinary lesson on the importance of financial literacy. I hope you guys found that lesson informative and engaging. All right, so guys, that's it for this amazing installment of the App Academy. 9 weeks of an extraordinary journey or a movement, right, on focusing on building amazing apps out there. So please, guys, do keep an eye out on social media, right? We have an amazing event that'll be coming out later within the year, which is the hackathon. An amazing opportunity for you guys to utilize the power of technology to bring about innovative solution within this amazing space. And who knows? Maybe you guys could win at the App of the Year Awards 2025, the best hackathon solution. And also another reminder, please do keep an eye out on your emails, for the links will be sent out for the final assessments, the final exams, which will then be informative for you guys to continue in this beautiful journey. All right, guys, so that's it from the FNB App Academy and myself. My name is Karabo Mohola. Please do also remain engaging on social media. Don't forget to hashtag FNB App Academy. See you guys next time. Peace.
siyasebenza. Awufuka, fuka, awufuka ulale. Fuka mntakwethu, awufuka ulale. Ixesha liyahamba, sisayosebenza. uyasebenza. Awufuka, fuka, awufukulale, fuka mntakwethu, awufukulale, ixesha liyahamba.